Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Writing is Hard. Yes, I know the ironic title. It's so funny. Aha! Get rid of the title, Jugs. I will work on it. I'm just kidding, everyone. I really hope you're having a great day, and I hope this video kind of helps you out, maybe relieve some stress when it comes to writing. Now, if you haven't seen a Writing is Hard video before, and this is the first one you're coming to because of the title, let me give you a basic rundown. So here, what I do is I'll talk about things that deal with writing. Now, not everyone's been writing since the second grade like I have, and not everyone's picked up on things as well as picked up on things from classes. They haven't picked up on things whether they picked it up like naturally or from classes or whatever. So sometimes you just need a little bit of help. And I understand that. I've even gone on YouTube a couple times and looked up ways to like do new things, and there's a lot of tips out there, but to me they just didn't feel casual. They felt also forced, and it was almost like I shouldn't have been using it because it felt like it just wasn't my work anymore. So here I'm just going to be giving you as basic as I can and some examples just to be sure that you understand. If you have anything you want me to go over, or if you have anything you're still confused about by the end of this video, then you can comment it down below. So today, for Writing is Hard, we're going over interrogation scenes. Ooh, I love writing them. Now, a lot of people struggle with them, and personally I did for a while too. It took me probably 5 or 6 scenes before I started getting it really down to nature. So I'm going to narrow it down into 4 little areas that we're going to talk about. Adjectives, creativity, conventionality, and dialogue. Okay? So in that order, we're going to start at adjectives. Obviously, when it comes down to making a book, or even if you're making a short story, you need adjectives. You need to describe things. Like, you can't just... Sometimes, some books like mine tend to let the reader describe the characters themselves, and they give them the base things that everyone should know. Like, this girl was slightly pudgier, but that's okay for her, and she's blonde and she's got bright blue eyes, but then you don't give her any then you don't give anyone any description of the character. That's fine. But when it comes to interrogation scenes, they're going to be short, and they're going to be bland, and they're going to be boring if you don't use adjectives. So some of them that I wrote down here, and I'm going to try to use an example for each one. Pulsating. Pulsating is a good one to me. So you want to say things like, the butcher's knife pierced through the skin and even went down as far as to the bone, revealing pulsating, jumping arteries that would be peeking through. I'm sorry, I'm making these sentences up on the spot, so I'm going to probably be like stuttering a lot. The next one would be horrible. It was a horrible display of violent nature for that man to have taken the hammer to his chest. Horrific. I found it absolutely horrific to watch as my colleague would take the bat and hit the man in the throat to get more information. Horrifying. Sitting in the chair, I found the whole situation horrifying to see unfold as the man comes around the corner with him and a couple groupies. And spectacular. Now, spectacular is one that you'd be like, huh, what? So you want to do things that, to me, they're called ironic adjectives, really. They don't seem like they'd make sense in that scene, but scene, kind of rhymes. But they're things you want there because it definitely gives the reader like a sense of like this is gritty, this is happening. So I wrote spectacular. So if we were using a crazy character in the sense for the interrogation, there we go. I lifted the car battery clamps up to the man's jaws, and I asked him one last time, "Do you know what I need?" He refused to answer. So I took the clamps, and one by one I set them onto the edges of his jaw. I walked over to the battery, and I turned it on to full power, and then instantly we saw a spectacular dance coming from the jumbling, slowly dying man. So you see the point here? Interrogation scenes are fucking awesome to write. You just need adjectives. Adjectives are what make them like gory, they make them great, they make it next up, we're going to go to creativity. Now, obviously, when it comes to interrogating, you can't just do the same thing over and over again. Otherwise, people are going to be like, yeah, I can train to resist this. Most of the time, they actually can't, but they can try. Okay, they can try. Let them go home and beat their knee with the hammer. That's a whole new level of beating meat. But you want to come up with creative new ways. It'll keep the reader like, ooh, I never thought about that. Or, hey, I might try to use that sometime for when I'm actually interrogating someone. No, when I'm writing a scene. So come up with things just kind of on the spot. Talk to people about it. See, like, would it make them wince, would it not? Now, obviously, you don't want to go up to someone that's got, like, a high pain tolerance, I'd be like, eh. But if they're constructive criticism, like if they're a constructive critic, then you could talk to them. But definitely talk to people and see if you can get any sort of reaction out of it. So an example for this, oh God. Let's take a horror aspect for this one, all right? The interrogator walks up to the man, right? And he's holding one hand behind his back, and the other one he's holding the interrogated's jaw. And he's talking to him in a very low, whispery voice. And when the man still doesn't give him the information he wants, even if the man doesn't know it, out from behind his back, he pulls out a cut open face. Literally skinned someone and took their face and is using it as sort of like a maniacal puppet. You see, horror is another great thing for like interrogation scenes. It all depends on how deep you want to go with the scene. Then you want the conventional thing. That's the third thing I'm talking about today is conventionality. You want to go with the classics a little bit. Make people feel like they understand what's going on. So even if they didn't take away exactly what you did from your creative ways or from your adjectives, then they can still be like, oh, he took that crowbar and he like hit the man in the chest a bunch of times, leaving a bunch of dents. That's simple. That's understandable. Throw in a couple adjectives and it'll look like a fucking movie script. All right. And finally, dialogue. Dialogue is important as well. Now, it's probably one of the most important things from books, unless you're doing somehow a silent black and white movie book, which I don't think I'll understand, but kudos to you if you manage to. Dialogue. You want to get really, really descriptive when it comes to dialogue, because setting the mood will definitely make the reader feel a little bit more a part of the scene. Because if you're doing a serious interrogation, and you've got this guy just walking up to him with a gun, pressing it up against his neck, and suddenly he's just fucking screaming! It doesn't exactly make as much sense all the time unless it's like a crazy character. Now you want the tone of the voices and you want the dialogue being said to match the character and the characters. Now if the character that you're interrogating is a really like macho man, you're going to want to do something, maybe even a breaking point scene where they lose that macho-ness and all that. So imagine taking them and making them whimpering and making them crying. Obviously, they'll be loud or they'll be really quiet. It kind of jumps in between depending on what kind of whimpering they're doing. And the interrogator, they're going to be doing different things. Like imagine taking like the Heath Ledger Joker, for example. He would probably just be like right up there and he'd just be like, yeah. You like jazz. So you get the point. Thank you everyone for tuning into this video. My name is Jugs. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode of Writing is Hard. I hope I can make things a little bit easier, and I hope you're having a really good day, and I hope you continue to have a good day. Be sure to go check out the Smidwinders channel. That's a channel I'm doing with me and my buddy Kane, and possibly a bunch of other people, which we're currently open to taking on new people. So if you want to post videos about writing on there, boom, go email us and we'll set something up. You want to post a video on there talking about your own channel, boom, talk to us, we'll set something up. It has to benefit both ways, because we can't just be advertising on a channel that's already tiny. Like, we're tiny, we get it, but we're not going to help you very much. So help us, we help you. It's great, it's a big community, we're a big friendly family, so be sure to go check out the Smidwinders. The, and then Smidwinders, it's one word. We got the purple gangster crab, alright? If you want to search up gangster crab, I try to put it in the tags of most of my videos that I put up there. Yeah, everyone, that's really it. Be sure to follow us on Twitter as well, at the Smidwinders. No space, obviously, for in the app, but it's the same exact as the YouTube name. Have a great day, everyone.